Are you attracting the kind of person you actually want to be with? I hope you are, but if you're not, this is the video for you. I'm going to show you why people attract less than ideal partners and what they need to do about it so they can attract the right person who's going to give them the life they're looking for. If you're looking for that, you are in the right place. I am Adam Lane Smith, the attachment specialist, and I'm going to pour my 15 years of training and experience into this video to show you the blunt, absolute truth about why people attract people that are bad for them and what you've got to do to break through that pattern. We're going to make this really simple with some practical steps today of exactly what you can do to fix this problem. Now, during the course of this video, I'm probably going to be sharing some resources with you that I've built to fix this problem. Those are available on adamlanesmith.com. I'll have some pop-up links. I'm also going to drop some links down in the description below, but you can always drop me a comment and say, Adam, I need some help. Ask me some questions. I will respond down in the comment section. And while you're there, subscribe, like the channel. It supports me, and you're going to get tons of information that'll help you in your dating life and help you have a great marriage once you find the right person. So thank you for being here, and let's launch right in. What is it that pulls people toward people who are bad for them? Well, the biggest thing I want to talk to you about today is a hormone called oxytocin. This is a mysterious hormone you may not have heard much about unless you watch my channel a lot, but oxytocin is something you're supposed to be getting a ton of when you were a little kid. When your mom gives you a hug, she gives you a kiss on your head, your dad says, I love you. When your parents nurture you and make you feel warm and safe, you get oxytocin. And if you're watching this and thinking, I never got any of those things, and it feels so alien to me to even imagine it, you may have an oxytocin deficiency, which is like a giant security gap that somebody can walk right in and exploit and leave you feeling very vulnerable after a length of time of making you feel good and getting you addicted to them. Most people who walk into a dating relationship are walking into it based on feelings and based on what they want from the other person that they think the other person might eventually give them. They're dating potential, and they're dating feelings, and they're dating oxytocin. It's a lot like going to the grocery store hungry and grabbing the junk food out of the middle of the grocery store instead of going to the grocery store nice and full and shopping along the outside for the whole food that's going to keep you healthy and clean. So quick check, drop me down in the comment below. How are you doing with oxytocin so far? Are you feeling warm and cared and loved and bonded and safe and all those good things that you're supposed to have from oxytocin? Or are you feeling pretty mechanical, pretty shut down, pretty unhappy, pretty lonely, and needing that chase? Are you feeling like you are constantly chasing people who make you feel good? Drop me down in the comments if you're feeling honest and brave, and let me know that that's what you're going through. Adam, I think my oxytocin's pretty low. Okay, let's talk about how to fix that. We will talk about how to fix that a bit here today. But if, for example, you are an anxiously attached person, and you've probably learned that phrase here on this channel, anxiously attached person, you run into relationships looking for those feelings. You are craving oxytocin from other people, and you don't think you deserve it, but you love to get it in return for doing endless nice acts of service for other people. This is nice guy syndrome. It is nice girl syndrome. This is where people chase good feelings in relationships and will do anything just to feel loved. This is anxious attachment, and it can also be disorganized attachment style, which is a blend of the two. But what this leads to is being openly vulnerable to someone with avoidant attachment, especially the more manipulative version, who is going to come in and frankly, they're going to get you addicted to them through oxytocin bonding. What your brain says is they're making me feel really good, and I don't know how that's happening, and I don't know how to feel it anywhere else, so I need to chase this person around and feel great. Most people who jump into dating relationships with someone who's bad for them, they don't realize that what you need to be doing in the first 3 dates is talking through commitment, talking through goals, talking through personal values, and talking through the realistic baggage and red flags of the relationship to decide if you are a good match together or not. If you're not doing that, you're not actually dating, you are just having feelings together. Now, I outlined the 3-date process that I teach inside my Attachment Bootcamp course. You can click that right here, and you can find the Attachment Bootcamp course. Inside Module 9 is my 3-date process that will show you exactly how to build commitment and fulfillment in those first 3 dates and weed out people who are a bad match for you. Also inside that course in Module 5, you're going to find how to connect to your local support network, your friends, your family, and weed out toxic people to get a better fulfilling oxytocin flow that happens for you. Check out that course, get connected, build that oxytocin so your security gap goes down. Now, if you're an avoidantly attached person, you may be pulling in all kinds of anxious people, or you could be out-avoidanced by someone who oversaturates you with love bombing and manipulates you. Most people who are avoidant sometimes get out-avoidanced by other people who are more aggressive in love bombing and oxytocin bonding than they are, and they start chasing that. People who have bad connection points, what they are doing is chasing oxytocin and chasing good feelings. They are chasing great feelings early in the relationship. Here's how that happens. Within those first few dates, you need to be talking about deeper commitment and connections. But also, what do we do when we're on dates? Tell me about yourself. We tell each other stories about our life. People who tell you stories that make you feel sorry for them, make you impressed by them, or make you think they're good in bed, those are people who are saturating you with feelings instead of substance. People who are more substantial and the more attractive partner that you're actually looking for, they're going to be telling you stories about they fulfilled their goals, what their goals are, or when they lived to personal values that cost them something, or when they were able to help somebody else that cared for them and that they care for in their life. Their stories will tell you what they care about instead of trying to make you feel something. This is a big, giant difference. You need to be telling the same stories and the same approach to stories in your first 3 dates. So are you asking for security and connection and compassion and love and caring and stuff like that? Or are you going into your first 3 dates talking about commitment, talking about red flags, talking about goals, talking about values? Are you talking about those things? And I don't mean stuffy and like interview, like reading it off of a note card like this and having a discussion. These are my top 3 life goals. No, I mean, are you going in and weaving that into the conversation? Because that's who you really are. Are you sharing who you really are? Or are you mostly looking at feelings or begging for attention? Now, how do you start attracting the right people? Well, the big question is, where are you finding people? If you are finding people on Tinder or on dating websites, odds are good that you're actually filtering for the wrong connection there. What's happening is you're dating strangers that you have no information about, and you don't know what to do to get connected to them. So it's good feelings to try to keep them interested from the get-go. One thing you can do instead is expand your local network and then put the word out that you are looking for somebody that you are actually going to be compatible with. Have other people that know you help you set you up, or other people who know other people set you up with those people. This brings tons of data that's very useful so that when you enter that 3-date process, you already know that they're looking for commitment. You're just verifying it with that person and checking in. Something else to consider is, how comfortable are you telling somebody that you're looking for commitment? A lot of women who come into my live streams, for example, always tell me, Adam, I've been 8 years. I'm at 8 years in my relationship. Do you think he's ever going to ask me to marry him? No, I don't. Not at 8 years. That's something you guys should have discussed in year 1, in month 1, in week 1, hopefully on day 1. You should have discussed those goals and what you're doing to move toward them. You don't have to get married on day 1, but you should at least mention, hey, by the way, these are my hopes and my intentions. Use your personal values and your personal life goals as boundaries. Use them as filters for other people. These are the 2 core pieces that I teach about in my book, 5 Steps to Overcome Fear of Rejection, which you can find right here. This book will walk you through the processes of the 4 levels of connection you need to be making in your relationships with people. Again, your goals and your values are the 2 key entry points into that relationship, as well as mutual acceptance of each other's baggage, which is on date 3, and then mutual fulfillment as you discuss what it takes to love each other and make each other feel loved. That's a conversation that needs to happen in the first month of dating somebody. How much are you filtering in that first 3 dates? How much are you filtering in the first month? What does your first year game plan look like? Are you building toward commitment? If you are just dating for fun, or you're just dating to look fun, hoping someone will pick you, then you're going to get what you get. And unfortunately, that's not going to be the partner you're really going to want to be with. So let me say it more clearly than that. If you are dating and just being endlessly fun, hoping that will attract the right person, all you're going to attract are people who are looking for endless fun with no strings attached. This is why you're probably stuck in situationships, and this is why you're probably stuck with partners you don't actually really like. You're not filtering for compatibility. You are trying to make people like you enough to keep you. Now, a big part of that is probably going to be fixing your anxious attachment style. If you have anxious attachment and you don't believe you deserve love, or that anyone's going to care about you enough to keep you around, and they're going to abandon you if you're not fun enough, that often is an anxious attachment style. That will prevent you from sharing your needs. And what's going to happen is securely attached people are going to filter out away from you because they won't trust you. They're going to see your instability and say, this is not a person I probably should be around, because they can't say what they need. That's going to make things pretty complicated, and it's going to make them unhappy and me unhappy. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be around that person. They don't hate you. It's just that you trying to be super nice is actually a big turnoff for people who are looking for a committed relationship. Now, the opposite is not to be a jerk. That's just as much of a problem. The opposite is to share who you really are right up front and be very calm and ready about it and say, you know what? If this isn't who you want me to be, I'm sorry, this is who I am. This goes back to my fear of rejection ebook that I linked just a moment ago. I'll drop that link down in the description for you. But fear of rejection like that will swamp you every time, because you're going to be trying to earn approval and connection and all of that bonding with people that you don't even like, just for the sake of not being rejected by somebody. This has been one really rewarding part of running my private community, is watching people in the dating channels go in there and say, look, I had this date with this person, and normally I would have just buckled under and told them, yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just here for fun. That's cool. No, don't worry. And they actually open up and say, no, you know what? I'm actually looking for a deeper commitment. And the men say, oh, I am too. That's refreshing. And it's shocking how many women are terrified to believe that if I open up and say, like, I'm looking for commitment, every man is going to get up and run from the table. No, not every man. Yeah, the men that you don't want to be around, they will get up and run from the table. But the men who you want are craving to hear that you want commitment, because the men who come into my community also say, Adam, if I open up and say I want commitment, women are just going to leave. They don't want commitment. They just want fun. Imagine that. Women hate commitment. Where is that idea coming from? It's coming from somewhere, because so many men believe it. So many men who come into my coaching and in my private community, the attachment circle, really believe if I just sit here and say I don't want commitment, then at least she'll stay because she won't run away from me. So if you find yourself believing that you're going to completely cut yourself out of the dating pool just by talking about what you actually want, let me tell you, very, very, very wrong. What you're going to do is repel the people who are a bad match for you, but you're going to attract the people who are an amazing match for you. Right now, you're attracting the people who are a bad match because you're using the wrong bait, trying to be fun, and you're just dating casually, and you're not opening up about what you want. Or you may have gone the other direction. Now you become a bit of a jerk, pushing extra hard for it, and no one's going to want to be around you because they all see that you have a chip on your shoulder and you won't trust anybody. The real answer is to be very calm about who you really are. Like I talk about in my book, 5 Steps to Overcome Fear of Rejection, what you need to do is understand that if people reject you when you are fully yourself, then they are rejecting your values, they are rejecting your goals, and they do not want to work compatibly with you to build what you want to build. They're rejecting your vision. They're not rejecting you as a human being. But to do that, you must be fully yourself and fully realized in yourself. So to attract the people you want to attract, you must be fully yourself. You must embrace being yourself. You must get some help finding people who are like you, and then you have to talk to them about what you want and see if they're compatible for that. And you've got to do all of this within the first 3 dates. So if you need help with this, you contact me down in the comments and say, Adam, help. I don't know how to do this, but I want to do it. What am I supposed to do? Drop down in the comments section. Leave me your questions. I know you've got them. You can even just say, Adam, really? Are there really men who want commitment? Drop that down in the comments. Men watching this who want commitment, drop it down in the comments and say, I'm a man, I would love for a committed relationship. I'm a man, I would love to hear a woman say she's looking for commitment. Men, go ahead and drop that down there. Honestly, women, same thing. I'm a woman, I would love to hear a man say he's looking for a committed relationship. Reassure each other in the comments section below. And while you're there, again, subscribe, hit the like, support the channel, and come back because you're going to need a lot more information for your future dating life. Now, the next video you're going to watch on my channel here is going to be right here. It's how the 4 attachment styles connect in relationships and what that looks like. You need to watch this video to see if this is you in relationships or if this has been your past partners. If it has been, you need to fix your attachment so that you can find secure people instead of people like this. Make sure you check out that video, and I will see you in there.